Girardi. And to go from that to people just being like, I actually hate you, but not even that. Like, I don't even care who you are. Pay your fucking dinner, pay for your fucking dinner, bitch, or get out. Like, it is an adjustment. So hate it on me for last time for saying that. I understand when you get too busy to break up with someone. Granted, guys, I don't know what a relationship is. So what the fuck do I know? To like, I understand, like, Erika's been through a lot. So bring on the hate for this episode. As you say, I love the haters.
What a fall from grace. I mean, yeah. I mean, it has
what a
to
fall
be,
from grace, and you're doing it. You're doing it. I mean, yes, like someone, they don't look, they do hand you a Vegas residency, but they don't. I mean, I'd like a Vegas residency. I mean, you have to earn the Vegas residency. Everyone's going to say, well, her tickets are selling for $7. First of all, I didn't pay $7 for my ticket. Second of all, it was busy. And third of all, it's still a huge thing to headline at House of Blues. And now you have a spinoff, like, so she's it's a fall from grace. It is. And then it's like a success story of, like, I told you, when I was with her there was no arrogance. It was just like, what are you going to do? I'm not a victim. I'm going to pick myself back up and go to work. I love that. That's me. Like, I have so the same mentality of knock me down. It's okay. Knock me, take this podcast away, let it go to zero. I'm not the least bit worried, because if I really want to stay, I will start another one and we will build it back up. I'm not the least bit concerned.
It's so true.
That type of story. No?
I do too. No. I think she's certainly made lemonade out of lemons. I mean, and I stand by. I do think that Tom is the love of Erika's life. I think that she was madly in love with Tom, but I still think I'm still convinced. I think they communicate. I mean, obviously she said that on 2T's podcast. He called her opening night or when she got the residency or whatever. I mean, my personal opinion is I think they're probably very much still in contact, but for legal reasons and financial reasons, it was like she had to divorce him. But I think he is the love of her life. So she's,
and let's face it, because he knows just what he's doing. He's competent. Let's face it. And mind you, think about him.
I agree with you. And they're still waiting, I believe, on a ruling to see if he'll be ruled competent to stand. I think he should be. And much like Jen Shah and Todd Chrisley and all these people, I hope he spends the rest of his life in jail, what he did to those victims. I mean, he's a fucking piece of shit. So
he's a fucking piece of shit. But I think secretly he's like, you go, girl. Like, he's,
I do too.
I think he's proud of her. There's also a lot of different types of love. You live with someone for that long. I mean, I think he's proud of her. He saved her. My theory, and I'm not even going to go back there. I agree.
Wait, do we want to stay on RHOBH?
What else you got, girl? Sure.
Well, do you care? Garcelle is now hosting she's going to voice a TV show for Oxygen about LA murders.
It's a good gig sure. It's a good gig, right?
I love our Garcelle. Our Garcelle is a fan of ours, by the way. She told us at Homeless Not Toothless. She said, thank you for the interview you did with my son, Oliver. She was a big fan.
She's working.
She's got a show. Yep, she's working. She's got a show coming out on Oxygen.
She's like the Countess. She is an example. Like, I want to put in a book certain examples. The Countess would probably be there in the beginning. Garcelle is an example of how to play the Housewives game. She shows up. Good. They say film. She ain't shy. She says, we're talking about your marriage, Kyle. That's what we're talking about. She's not afraid to go head to head with Kyle, Erika, anyone. When the cameras are rolling, she can sling the shade a little bit, but she ain't no candy gal. She ain't, who else gets really dirty on Twitter? Jersey. She ain't, Margaret. And like, Garcelle doesn't engage in this, as I like to call it, the underbelly of the internet. She's not out there saying, I saw this on Reddit. And she, the job is not to slant. When she's on a red carpet promoting this Oxygen series, yes, someone is going to say, and tell us the new season of Beverly Hills is back on the 25th. And Kyle and Morgan, darling. And she'll make a comment and it will be a headline around the world. Garcelle says this about Kyle, slams her for being inauthentic, which is not exactly what she said. It will be a headline and she'll text Kyle, sorry, they asked the question. Garcelle doesn't get dirty off camera, and that is how you play Housewives. Instead, Garcelle is collecting the check from her oxygen job. She is in the book. When we open the book, Sarah, when I make the book of how to play the Housewives game, Garcelle plays the game right.
Do you think Garcelle, though, is one of the people who Mark Garagos on your show said, well, we've been reached out to by people that are on Bravo that are currently employed, but they cannot, they can't join us. They can't speak. I mean, Garcelle did have those racist spots attack. We never got to the bottom of it, although it's basically alleged that still to this day that Diana is behind it. Diana wanted to recuse herself of the court case and somebody else take it on. And that's sort of where it ended, I think.
What about Rinna? I mean, Rinna's fired, so.
But do you think like Garcelle is like, yeah, Bethenny, go Bethenny. Like this is absolutely.
Maybe. I mean, look, I think Garcelle is what Rinna wasn't. Was Rinna better at the Housewives game than Garcelle in a sense? She was one of the best, but not really, because you ultimately came undone. You let producers win, Lisa Rinna. That's why I don't hate these Housewives. I don't hate it when Dorinda goes off the rails against Tinsley. I don't hate it and then gets fired. I don't hate it when Lisa Rinna self-implodes. Mind you, after so many years, you have to. I still believe I don't dislike Margaret Josephs at all anymore. I really don't. I don't dislike any. I still believe Margaret's going to self-implode, but not really. I think Margaret's actually playing it smart this season in Jersey. We'll talk about that more tomorrow on Patreon, guys, because that's where we do our RHONJ. I feel Garcelle is maybe she's like Go Bethenny, but Garcelle will never get her hands dirty. Not even from Bravo. She could be fired from Bravo tomorrow. Garcelle knows how to play. And this is not shade. This is power to you. She knows how to play the Hollywood game. She's in this. When you're talking about she was on The Real and now this, Garcelle, she was just in that movie. Like Garcelle is a working actress who ain't losing jobs, because this has helped her career. This has truly helped her career. She's good. So she'll never publicly speak out against it. Even when she's off, she won't speak out against the network. I think maybe secretly, sure.
Okay, I need to know if you have insider scoop, and you better not save this for your Patreon. You better tell us right here and now.
Oh, God.
Do you know why Brandi Glanville was rushed to the hospital?
Girlfriend. No, the only thing I like to hold back from the kids is the RHONJ. Listen, they say, well,
what's the word on the car, baby?
Oh, God.
Is word on the street. What is word on the street about her? Okay, for people who are like, wait, what are you talking about? Brandi made some headlines this week, and I want to know, I mean, you've had, okay, you have to get to the bottom of this, because two big things about Brandi have me wondering. First of all, Brandi's son, one of her sons, she has a 16-year-old son, 20-year-old son with Eddie Ciprian.